Is the 5070 Ti the new sweet spot for high-end gaming? We're putting it to test alongside the Ryzen 7 9700X in a full XPG ecosystem build. We've got the high airflow Valor Air Pro to keep this 300-watt GPU nice and cool. No compromises, no thermal throttling, just pure next-gen speed. Let's get to work. The case that we're using for today's build is the XPG Valor Air Pro. It comes with 4 pre-installed ARGB fans with support for both a 360mm radiator at the front, a 360 up the top, and you can fit a 240 here beside the motherboard tray. We do have support for e-atx size motherboards, and something quite refreshing throughout, we actually have dust filters at the front, at the top, at the bottom, and at the rear, all the way around. A lot of cases leave out that front dust filter. The front panel not only looks stylish, but XPG is saying that it is airflow optimized. They call it a slash magnetic front panel. And yes, it is magnetized in place. We can also fit our latest GPUs all the way up to 400mm, and our I/O is conveniently located on the top here with power, reset. We've got our hybrid mic and headphone jack, USB Type-C, and 2 USB Type-A, all of them USB 3.2. And now that I'm digging deep, it also looks like we can vertical or horizontal mount our GPU. Rear of the case, there's not a huge amount of room for cable clearance up and around the motherboard tray. However, down the bottom, it is completely open. We do have space to install our hard drives, SSDs. We also have 2 SSD cages here, plus we have plenty of cable tie-down points in and around the motherboard tray, up the sides. But honestly, any extra cable slack, that is going to be shoved right under there. Let's get into it. Always love going with the ROG Strix X870E gaming Wi-Fi motherboard because of all of the available USB ports on the back. We have 2 40 gig per second USB Type-C ports, plus a 20 gig per second USB Type-C and a 10 gig per second USB Type-C, plus all of the 10 gig USB Type-A ports that are available on this system. Plus, we also have 5 gig LAN. I'll hook that up to my NAS. We're gonna have extremely fast file transfer speed between. In fact, we could probably edit directly from the NAS as well. Not to mention all of the beefy heat sinks that we have all over this motherboard, keeping everything nice and cool. Today's CPU is the Ryzen 7 9700X. We do have an imposter CPU box, but the Ryzen 7 9700X has 8 cores, 16 threads, so gonna be plenty for multi-threaded workloads such as streaming, video editing, rendering. It's got higher boost clocks all the way up to 5.5 gigahertz. Plus it's only like half the cost of those higher end Ryzen 9 CPUs. So I really want to test it out in today's system. This is the ADATA Legend 860 NVMe drive. It is a Gen 4 NVMe with speeds of 6,000 megabytes per second read, 5,000 megabytes per second write, which is around 3 times faster than Gen 3 NVMe's. The beauty about this is it comes with a heatsink, which you can either pre-install, or if you have a motherboard with a heatsink built in already, then you can leave this in the packaging. It supports both Intel and AMD platforms, plus you can actually use it in a PS5 to expand storage. And it's made with quality components because they're actually very confident with this product that they added a 5-year warranty. Now we are going to be testing out the speeds of this drive to see if it gets close to those advertised speeds. So keep an eye out later in the video. For our RAM today, we're going with the XPG Lancer RGB DDR5 memory. This particular kit has 6,000 megahertz with CL30 timings, but you can get them all the way up to 8,000 megatransfers per second. They have a beautiful heatsink on both sides with the RGB lighting actually built down and into it instead of sticking up and looking bulky. So it keeps that nice uniform shape. The RGB, of course, is fully customizable and supports both Intel XMP3 and AMD Expo for easy overclocking. And you may have noticed here, I actually have 2 boxes because it does come in both black and white. This is the Maestro Plus 62DA Air CPU cooler. It's a dual tower design with 2 fans built in with ARGB lighting that you can sync with the system on both fans. This top panel is a digital status panel, so you can display things like your temperatures and real-time system performance monitoring. There is also 6 direct touch heat pipes built in, and this cooler has the capability of cooling up to 250 watts. So your higher end CPUs on the market, such as your 9950X3D, which pull, I've seen up to 230 watts, this cooler will be able to handle. The FDB fan also features a smart fan curve technology for efficient cooling under 22 decibels, but we'll see how well it performs later on in the video. As much as the case has 4 ARGB pre-installed fans, unfortunately, we are going to have to remove them because we like uniformity throughout the build. If I was to keep those 4 and then put another 5 different fans in there, I just don't think it would work well, more in terms of the looks, but performance would be fine. So we're going to be going with the Unifan SL Infinity 120s from Leon Lee. With the current state of memory, including VRAM, I am going for the 5070 Ti. This is the ROG Strix Gaming from Asus. 16 gigs of GDDR7, which is going to be plenty for our rendering, because we always like to take advantage of that CUDA performance. In terms of gaming, I think it's the perfect pairing with the 9700X, and we will be testing that out later in the video. And considering it's not the top-end model, it means that the heatsink doesn't have to be as big, so it's really not as large as a brick as some of the other cards on the market. This is the XPG Core Reactor 2VE, a newer power supply from XPG which features ATX 3.1 and the new 12 volt 2x6 connectors for the GPUs. Previously, the 12 volt high power connectors on power supplies were causing many issues, including melting. They provided 600 watts continuously even when the power connector was loose. This one has improved sensor pins and will not provide all of that power if it senses that there are loose connections, therefore not leading to any melting GPUs. So if you are going for a new power supply, these new power connectors and ATX 3.1 is probably something that you want to be looking for, especially with the newer higher end GPUs. Not to mention, XPG uses quality parts for low ripple noise design and has 8 industrial protections built in. We're in Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, 4K high settings, not ultra settings, because as soon as I went into ultra, it went down to 60 FPS, and then I started recording. I just wanted to give myself a little bit of extra headway. Wow, how incredible do the details look. Currently, we're sitting around 80 FPS. The CPU is around 71 degrees Celsius, so the PC's handling it no problem. GPU at 56 degrees. For a 5070 Ti, it's not doing a bad job. Doom 4K Ultra Nightmare mode, let's go, baby! Let's go. Oh, this big guy. Guys, we're seeing 64 FPS. Oh, I'm getting absolutely hammered. CPU sitting at 69 degrees Celsius, GPU at 57 degrees Celsius. This is insane. And we are recording at the same time. Come on, let's go. For our first test, I benchmarked the ADATA Legend 860 NVMe. I ran the SSD toolkit from ADATA, achieved read of 5600, write of 4831 megabytes per second. And you can see that the rated speed is up to 6000 and 5000 megabytes per second read and write respectively. So we're not far off those advertised speeds. Temperature-wise, the CPU cooler is handling this application Cinebench 2024 with a breeze. You can see that all of the core temps are within the 60s. We are drawing a full load of 88 watts at 100% utilization. Very cool PC. What a gorgeous build this turned out to be. I love the purple and the blue accents. I think it really comes together nicely. And who would have thought a 5070 Ti for 4K gaming while recording as well? The case has great airflow. It's completely open. The tower cooler is able to handle the CPU. And I love the implementation of the monitoring screen. Overall, super excited, and I'll leave all the specs in the video description. But if you enjoyed this video, then you're gonna love this video right here where we bought 34 PCs for only $1,200. Go and check it out.